Hello, welcome to 7-5. Today's lesson is called Indirect Measurement. Now, this is so cool, you guys, and it would be so awesome to hear you do this in real life. So today we're looking at using proportions and similar figures. So the last two lessons, we got to combine all that stuff that we learned there to find unknown measures. Now, as the picture suggests, if we knew we could measure the shadow of the tree right here. Let me get a different color. Shadow of the tree. If we could measure the shadow of the tree, we could set a little wall right here. We could measure, it's 4 feet only. We could measure that. And 6 feet of its shadow. We could figure out how tall the tree is using math. We would not even have to get a measurement. We would not have to get a ruler out. Nothing. We could use proportions or indirect measurement to figure out how tall that tree is. How cool is that? Let's get started. So let's solve it here. Use similar triangles. So we know that these triangles are similar. The directions tell us to find out how tall the tree is. So we are going to set up a proportion here. So we could have shadows be our numerator. So I could say 24 feet to the tree is proportionate to the 6 feet of shadow of the wall. So if this is our tree, then I would know that my x has to go below that. I don't know how tall it is. But I do know how tall the wall is. It's 4 feet. Now, we have to be so careful. In this case, it's all measured in feet. But sometimes they'll throw one that's inches, where you have to notice that it's inches and do a conversion before you can set up your proportion. We need to make sure they're all in the same unit. But anyways, now all we have to do is just use cross products to figure it out. So to make things a little bit easier on myself, I see that this proportion right here can be reduced. I'm going to divide by 2, and now do my cross products. A lot easier to do in my head now. 24 times 2 is 48. I don't even have to write that one out. I already know that one. And 3 times x is 3x. So now I would divide both sides by 3. Now, 48 divided by 3, I do not know in my head. 1 minus 3 equals 1. 3 goes into 18 6 times. It is 16. So x equals 16. Our tree is 16 feet. We do need to make sure, because we are doing a word problem, we have our label. The tree is 16 feet tall. Now, here it did use h. Doesn't really matter what variable you use. I prefer using x's because they are just nice and I remember to do it. But if you prefer to do h, that's fine too. Just make sure you label. Let's try another one. All right, so now this one we're going to kind of do the same thing. It looks a little different though. We have to see that there are 2 triangles here. We have the larger triangle, which is the height of the tree, its shadow, and then its hypotenuse. And we have the height of the girl, her shadow, and her hypotenuse. We have 2 triangles here. They're just kind of fit inside of each other. And again, it says they are similar. So let's set up our proportion. So I see that this 125 feet is from the tree. Well, it's the tree shadow. And then this 5 feet is the girl's shadow. So we could start off by saying our numerator is going to be the shadows. So we could start with the girl. Her shadow is 5 feet, and that's proportionate to the 125 feet shadow of the tree. So you can see our relation for the numerator is the shadow. Now the relation for the denominator is going to be the actual height. The girl's actual height is 4 feet. The tree's height, we don't know. Okay, so here's the tree. Okay, so let's do cross products to figure out what the height of the tree is. So I can do 5x equals 125 times 4, or 500. Well, look at that. That's not going to be too bad. Divide by 5, and our x is 100 feet. That is how tall our tree is. Okay, so again, we just used our proportions to solve our missing number. Used our similar triangles. Let's try one more. So here we do have two similar triangles, and we need to find the height of the tree. So here, let's figure out our proportions. This would be x. We don't know how tall the tree is. We do know how tall he is. So let's have our numerators be the height. And then our denominators will be kind of the shadow. So the height of the tree is what we don't know. But we do know its shadow is 39 feet. And then that's going to be similar to the height of the person is 5 feet. The shadow is 11 7/10. Now we'll do our cross products. 11 7/10 x equals 39 times 5 equals 195. Now we have to divide by 11 7/10. So when I divided this out, I saw that I was going to get 16.66666666666, and so I decided to turn it into a fraction. If I divided both of these by 39, I know, what a weird number, I would get 2/3. So 16, x is 16 2/3 feet. Now here's the deal. I know I will hear some of you say, but Mrs. Hamer, it is in decimals up here, and now you're telling me to put my answer as a fraction in, and I had said in previous videos, do not do that. In this case, when you're going to have a repeating decimal that goes on forever and ever and ever, it's okay if we do 2/3 feet. So anyways, it would be even better if you figured out how many inches that would be, which shouldn't be too hard because 3 goes evenly into 12. But anyways, that is all that I have for you today. So again, we're just finding the proportions of using our similar triangles again to find the measurement, indirect measurement of things. Anyways, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.